Well, I mean, it's very obvious. Chad, y'all were probably there at first game. You were. We got off to a good start, and just, like so many times, we couldn't maintain it. And they shot the cover off the ball. I remember they made 19 threes in that game. They made them from everywhere. 25, 28-foot shots, pull-ups. Then I know the last couple games, or last game at home against UTEP, they went 3 for 25. So figure that. As you well know, they're a team, when they make three-point shots, they're as good as anybody in the league. And they live by it and they die by it. I went on the road, I know at Southern Miss beat them because they lived and died by it. So we just got to hope Saturday afternoon they're not having one of those games again that they had at their place.
You mentioned with a team like Marshall, it's a lot different to play at Marshall as it is to play here. What kind of difference in the game when you play at home?
Well, naturally, you much rather be at home no matter who you play. And, I do think the style they play is so much more effective at home than it is on the road. But those nights that, they can have one of those kind of nights on the road, they're capable of beating anybody. That's the thing about them. They're capable. But when they don't make those shots on the road, then they're capable of getting beat by anybody, as you saw against Southern Mississippi.
What sort of things you guys are trying to work on this week?
We've used this week so far to, Monday was off day for us, get made an extra day off, and basically backed off a little bit just from a practice long standpoint and toughness standpoint. Shorten it up, and it's second week of February right now, or it's about energy, especially with our basketball team, the numbers we're playing, those people. So we'll come out today and go at it, and have a short brief one tomorrow, and Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock. So naturally things we want to continue to try to keep getting better, offensively. I think we can still get better right there. There's times that we may want to play small, keep finding ways to get a little bit better playing small. And, again, defensively, the last game you guys saw us play zone for about 35 minutes of that game, and it was effective for us, against a Southern Mississippi team. So, again, just a little bit of everything for our basketball team. But one thing we've really been conscious of this week is backing off of them just a little bit.
How was it really health-wise?
Ben's, y'all know the Ben situation, able to play at Louisiana Tech some, able to play him some at Southern Mississippi, and basically he hasn't done anything contact-wise with the team, this week, and probably will not today even. May not do it even tomorrow. May save him for a game just for contact. If you guys saw him, who was at Southern? Both of y'all were at Southern. If you look up his leg, halfway up to his knee, about 6 inches below his kneecap, it starts getting black and blue all the way down to his ankle. I've never seen a ankle sprain have so much coloration to it. And again, he's got long old legs. But he's worked hard to get back. Mike, our trainer, has done a terrific job working with him, and they've been aggressive with him, and they've been aggressive to get him back in those 2 games we just had him. And he was very, playing that zone at Southern Miss was good. He was good in there. He's a guy that's got some size and reacts very well, and we needed him in that game.
As far as game planning for this game defensively, do you approach it, besides obviously taking away the 3, much different than the first time you played?
We won't do anything different, really. There may be one adjustment here or there. Again, we were pretty good up there for 5-8 minutes for sure. Got that big lead. Still at halftime, if I remember, it was a 1-point game. Even the first 4 minutes of second half, we're right there. And we just kind of ran out of gas. They made shots. Elmore got them going, and that basket got big for everybody. And even though we got down, we cut it back to 10. You know, watched that film again, didn't realize we got it back to 10 after getting down. But it's very, very obvious that, we got to do a better job guarding that three-point shot. And again, some of those shots they made up there, we'll let them shoot the same shot here Saturday night. I mean, there's a couple pull-ups from 28 feet, which is pretty hard to guard. You're just going to take your chances with that. So we're at home. Defensively, we should have a lot more energy. We shouldn't get that fatigue. Shouldn't hit us in the mouth quite as early as it does on that road sometimes. Our strategy is pretty much the same. We want to throw that ball in that post. We will make them guard it around that baseline. If we got something in transition, we'll take it. But if we don't, we can't let their style speed us up and get into just a run and shoot three-point contest. They're better at that than we are. So it's a fine line, being able to do that too.
Mitchell gets to play here Saturday. How exciting is that for some fans to go check him out Saturday?
Yeah, unfortunately not playing for us on Saturday though, so it'd be good. It's good that he's up here and people get to see him play. I think they're playing a really good Ballard team. They got games at 2:30. Then have a chance to come over and watch us play. But you'll see with Mitchell. Mitchell's all about potential with his ability to run, his ability to jump. Is at about as high as levels you can get from those two things. Offensively, around the block, he's got to get better. But he's got good skills, can face up and make shots. And again, defensively around that rim, he can alter a lot of things. And his ability to get out and run. His his athleticism is really special. So it'd be good to have him up here. Hadn't seen him in a while, and it'd be good for him to watch us play.
I think you talked about trying to get some of the former players and some of the guys that were greats here back to watch the team be a part of this. How good is it going to be to get some of those seniors from the 80s here this weekend as they do a kind of 30-year thing?
Well, those are things I just haven't had an opportunity to do. Still trying to get guys back part of the program. We're just trying to get guys to be in a program, to have a team. So I hadn't had much time for that. That's always important to me. I mean, getting those guys back who's been here, it's been successful. I remember growing up I was already in college, I guess, when they had that 85-16 with Frank and who was those guys? Kennard and Frank. I remember those two guys for sure right off the bat. I mean, you're talking about pro type players, and Coach Haskins, I think, is coming back, and that's great too. Clem was a terrific coach here. He's a terrific coach everywhere he's been. So I know he hadn't been back a lot, and he's a guy I want to get back involved in our program because I think he's done so much here. And again, I just know he hadn't been back a lot lately, and I like Clem a bunch. Just hadn't had a chance personally to get him back. So I'm glad to hear that he's coming too. So it'd be good to have that team back in here, and you always want those guys a part of your program. You never know. First off, where they can help you at, when they can help you, and be amazed sometimes, one of them may have a cousin or a child too, but just having them back, being around, it'll be special too.
Anything else?
Y'all got another question on that back line? I only got one question. You got one more over here?
Kind of an odyssey apart.
Why you guys got to make me ask y'all a question? Well, if I hadn't made you ask that question, what was you going to take that question back home with you? Put it on a bookshelf. Save it as a timeout. Go ahead, I got you.
Kind of an odd part in conference play, having a Thursday off. The depth of this team or lack thereof. How big is it to get today off and going into the season?
Well, this time of year, it's even more important than it was in January. We had it in January, didn't we?
Yeah.
Two the same way. January to what? What was that? Anybody remember?
The 14th to the 21st.
It's a lot more important now when you've got, we got 11 games under our belt. This time of year, that grind with our depth, that rest is important. So if I'm correct, we got 7 games left. After Saturday, it's 6 games. So I think it came at a good time. And in particular, we're a little beat up. Ben's got that ankle problem. Anton had some calf problems, and also he sprained his ankle late in a game against gonna miss him, though he's fine. Y'all saw Junior come off the floor with a little bit of a sprained ankle down there, so it's kind of been perfect timing from that standpoint to give some guys some rest and give them a chance to heal up a little bit. That's a good question. Real good question. Why you didn't ask that question right off the bat?